Ready? Yeah. Hit his ass.
Can we finally call a spade and call out this heinous crime where you have a person who looks one way, kills or attacks a person who looks a different way, less melanin, less skin color than them, how they can seem to get off on the law, either no punishment at all or very light sentences. But if it's reversed, if a white man does the same thing to a black person, all hell breaks loose. And that is something that I think we are all tired of. And the more we see videos like this, the more we're going to be disgusted and hopefully have a call to action to prevent this from happening, at least prevent the media from glossing it over. In fact, take a look at this particular article that just came out recently. Now, that's real life. Now, I posted this about 2 weeks ago. Look at this. This is a meme that I posted. Now, this meme is square on, right on the nose of what's happening. How the media has slanted journalism, how they want to push forth a woke agenda. And the woke agenda is dangerous because it allows criminals to get off and it punishes the innocent and it discourages those who are doing the right thing, and it makes us fearful and it divides us, which is exactly what they want to see. So this person who was killed, his name is Andreas Probst. He was a retired police chief. He was 64 years old, and he was murdered by a couple of teenagers who were laughing and mocking this whole thing. They stole this car, at least that's what I am reading, and they ran the guy over. Again, I will show the clip here in a second, but I want to just put in your mind, well, let me show the clip first, and then you guys can see that, and then I will come back with my own take on all of this. Here you go. And by the way, warning, this is some serious content. Now, the actual footage is blurred out, so you don't see any of that, and there's no profanity. So at a base level, it's okay to watch. But for smaller kids who may have questions about this crazy reality we live in, you may want to keep them away from this clip. So here we go.
Go.
So they're in the car, they're driving. It's a stolen vehicle. Acting like complete idiots.
Stop talking.
You saw them right there. You know exactly what they look like, so you can see for yourself what they look like.
Ready? Yeah.
And now they acquired the target. They're actually saying, go ahead and hit the guy. And, you know, this is such a horrible thing to witness and to watch. This poor man. I mean, they hit the gentleman square on. No doubt about it. It was completely intentional, and they laughed about it onward. I'm going to stop it there. There's more footage there. If you want to see the whole video, you can for yourself. I'm not going to put a link in it. You got to go find it for yourself. I'm not going to do that, but it's out there. Pretty easy to find. And so what I want to say is just imagine what would have happened if this was a situation. And by the way, this hasn't come out hardly at all by the mainstream media. You saw that article before, how they spun it. And you saw that meme that I did after that, which basically showed you that that's what's going on. They're just putting stuff off to the back page and covering up and glossing it. Slanted journalism at its finest to do the things I mentioned before, divide us, infuriate us, frustrate us, but we have to be diligent. We have to be persistent in our coverage of this and sharing this video with myself and other people who are putting this out there as well, so that this can get out there so people can have awareness of that you can't live in this reality and have a fair system. So back to my point. Just imagine the two people that took this car were white. They stole a car. They went off on a road, a joyride. They acquired a target, a 64-year-old black man on a bicycle, and then decided to intentionally run him over and laugh about it. What do you think the news coverage would be like for the next 2 weeks? I guarantee you it would have been a nightmare. It would have been Biden up there. It would have been Harris up there cackling. It would have been all kinds of legislation going on. White supremacy this, white supremacy that, BLM this, Antifa that, riots here, potentially, all kinds of stuff, stuff being burned down, the whole nine, because, well, number one, we're in an election cycle, so that would have been a reason to do it. But just because, again, that narrative fits their persona and it fuels their fire, it makes them powerful with money and all kinds of special interest groups and all of that stuff. And it's disgusting how we are all manipulated off of these emotions. Do you remember a guy by the name of Daniel Penny? He faced up to 15 years of a crime on the chokehold of that homeless person on the subway who was threatening the passengers. This is a white guy. He protected the passengers. This particular homeless person on the subway was threatening people and was threatening them up to the point of him being restrained by this chokehold. Unfortunately, this person by the name of Jordan Neely passed away, but this was unintentional. That was not what he meant to do. He meant to protect the lives of those people around him. And so I'm putting this out there just so people know that this is not the same thing. I'm hearing spin left and right. Oh, this is the same thing as Daniel Penny, what he did with Jordan Neely, and all that. Look, it is not. And a lot of these cases that go on, like hands up, don't shoot, that was fake. That was something that was even codified by the Obama administration, saying that whole thing, the whole narrative of hands up, don't shoot was a lie. It was fake. It did not happen. And so every single case needs to be taken on a case-by-case basis. You can't paint a broad brush saying because a person looks like this, it's this, or because a person doesn't look like this, this. Because you end up letting people go to prison who are innocent, or you will be letting people who are guilty go free. And both are wrong, and that's not what we want to have in this society.